Welcome back to part 5 of how to buy a house. And this is the final segment of how to buy a house before we move on to how to close the house you're buying. So Julie, what is part 5 of how to buy a house?
I bet most of you have already guessed, but part 5 is picking a realtor.
Oh, the real estate agent.
You've identified your neighborhood. You've done the research. You've gotten pre-qualified. Now it's time to pick your realtor.
Okay, let me ask you some questions, Julie.
Oh God.
So just tell me if you think this is, I'm just a buyer.
Okay.
My sister's dentist cousin's aunt, she's been doing some real estate, and my dentist said that I should work with her. What do you think?
Do not get caught up in the family or friend referral trap.
Yes.
There are many people who call themselves realtors. Is that how you say it?
Realtor. I'm gonna get at least 15 snide comments that are like, this is how you say it. And there's always a link to a video, and it's never sent to me in kindness. It's always sent to me with contempt.
So
let's call them real estate agents.
Yeah, real estate agents. You are going to be referred, you may be referred, a real estate agent from your dentist, from your aunt, from your third cousin, from, the manager at your job, whatever, who's really great and has helped them. And this person, guess what, does it part-time. They're not really working hard. There could be a million different reasons why you don't necessarily want to go with that referral.
Sometimes referrals are amazing and great, but what you're going to do is you're going to circle back to what we did with that lender. What are the reviews? Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, the other beautiful part about Zillow, I mean, it's ridiculous at this point, but is that you can actually look up real estate agents and you can see, what their reviews are. And also in many markets, not every market in the country, because I got burnt by this recently, mm-hmm. you can see how many houses they've sold, how many houses they've sold this year, what's the price point they generally represent, do they represent buyers, do they represent sellers? Now, in this case, Zillow is not bulletproof, from what real estate agents have told me, because they get very irritated when I quote stuff back at them. I don't know why. It's weird, right? But it gives you a good idea, because sometimes people, like, if you're looking at a $300,000 house and you're like, my real estate agent's just mean to me.
Can I just tell a horse story?
I mean, I like a good horse. I wish I had a flashlight, so we'll just pantomime that.
Pretend like you're around a campfire.
Okay.
This is a horse story, and this is a great example.
Okay.
So we have a buyer who is currently in contract and trying to close a home on a house that's sort of in a mountainous area.
Oh my God, I know who you're talking about. This is a horror story.
But this happens so often.
So often.
So often. So this is their dream house. These people, it's a vet. They have scrimped and saved.
A veteran, not a veterinarian, although we do help veterinarians as well.
A veteran. Anyway, this is their dream house. They worked really hard to get to where they are, and they're in this contract. They want to close. There's all kinds of issues. The person they chose to represent them came recommended. This person told them that they were one of the top #1 agents, that they did so many transactions, that they were very familiar with this town they were looking at. Turns out we're into well inspections, pest reports, problem, where we have to bring out specialists to do additional inspections.
Which a good real estate agent that actually was familiar with rural areas would have ordered on day one. I actually have an agent in Florida. His name is Carlos, and he's my hero. He doesn't even deal with rural properties. And when we talked about VA, he's like, yeah, if I hit a rural property, I got to do a well, I got to do a septic, I got 3 guys for that.
Great. So back to this case in point.
Yes.
They thought they went with the first person who was referred, the first person that told them, I do real estate all the time. I do so many deals. I know your area well. Well, when the rubber met the road and they ran into problems, they found out that this realtor lived 40 minutes away from their intended property. This realtor had no intention of showing up at the different inspections at 7, 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, because she lived so far away. And she actually didn't do a lot of deals. So she didn't really know what she was doing.
No. And that's the thing is that you really, and I hate saying this because I really wish we lived in a society where you can trust people on what they say. You got it. Like, here's the thing about data.
Here's the thing. Trust.
Verify. Trust but
and
verify.
Exactly.
Trust but verify.
We are on the same brain.
Oh
We're
my God.
sharing the same brain.
It's because we've been filming this for 14 hours.
Same shirts.
Same shirts. 46 states. I had to get it in there. So yeah, and so now they're basically calling Julie all the time, and we're sitting there just watching this and trying to help as much as we can.
Yes.
But you want a real estate agent that if they're like a little bit far away, sometimes that's okay. They just have to be willing to go to the inspection.
Right.
It's very rare, I think, that a real estate agent won't show up to a termite or home inspection.
It's a red flag, in my opinion.
Yeah, because how can they fight for you?
How can they say to the seller and the selling agent, if they're not at that pest inspection, hey, guess what, guys? This whole side of the house is rotted, and this is what the inspector said, and this is what it's going to take to cure this issue. So we need X amount in a price reduction.
Yeah.
How can they make that case for you? They can't. They're not there. They're not involved in your transaction. You're in trouble.
Yeah.
You're in trouble.
And so what's so important for you guys to know, because some people don't even realize this, the buyer does not pay for the real estate agent. Traditionally, and that's in every single state, okay? Real estate in America, as of 2021, the seller pays the buyer's agent 99% of the time. The only time I saw any exception to that was in super hot markets. I would see some percentage paid for by the buyer, but you guys have to be really careful with buyer broker agreements. If they are asking you guys to sign a buyer broker agreement, you need to read it, you need to understand it, because sometimes those things will have a hook in it where it will say that the agent has to make 3% no matter what, and that you're responsible if the seller doesn't pay them 3%. There are a lot of areas right now where buyer's agents, the seller's not paying more than 2%. So you could be on the hook for that 1% if you sign a buyer broker agreement. One exception, and in California we don't see this, that's why Julie's like, why? But in the other states we do. And one exception, if you're VA, guys, you can never pay a real estate agent's commission, period. It is not allowed. But for everybody else, you guys need to watch out for those buyer broker agreements, and I would not sign one until I had gone out with someone, I was comfortable with them, I felt like they were an expert, because the thing that I see a lot of is I'll see agents that are generally the ones that make me want to cry the most, that are getting people trapped in these quick.
Yeah, so the point is, take your time to find the right real estate agent.
And you can interview them.
You should interview them.
Oh yeah.
You should absolutely interview your realtor. And if you found your lender, which you should have found your lender in step 4, have your lender reach out to the realtor. If your lender is good and you've done your research, you've picked someone who's knowledgeable, does a lot of transactions, has a lot of knowledge in the industry, have your lender call your realtor on your behalf and check them out for you.
Yeah,
right?
We can usually figure it out pretty quick. I mean, I spent probably, my use of time is probably not very good. I spent probably 5 to 6 hours last week on the phone with clients just Googling. We're like both on Google. I'm like, oh my gosh, let's look her up. Check out her Facebook. Check out this. I pulled her numbers. What did she say? Wait, that doesn't match.
Yeah.
Just doing the detective work, because who you guys work with is so important.
So important.
They're not just door openers. A bad real estate agent is a door opener. A good real estate agent is a deal maker,
a negotiator,
and someone who can save you money and not get you ripped off with a money pit.
100%.
You should definitely watch the movie The Money Pit with Tom Hanks. If you guys are not familiar with this, I know a lot of you are very young.
We are boomers. Just kidding.
I mean, we're pretty close. Like we're on the cusp. But no, The Money Pit with Tom Hanks. If you guys haven't seen this movie, it is amazing and so accurate, especially about construction. Definitely watch that. But look, you guys have a right to interview real estate agents.
Yes.
They are not doing you a favor by showing you houses. They're going to make a good chunk of money. So keep in mind, $500,000 house, 2% is $10,000, 3% is $15,000. I don't know about you guys, but that is good money. So definitely interview agents, check out the reviews. Don't just go with whomever.
Right. Take your time.
You want a market expert.
Yeah, and I think that comes down to talk more than one or two people. Talk to like 3 different realtors.
Yeah,
You
I
think
would
that's
say,
the right
yeah.
mix?
And I do want to be really clear, because sometimes we get new real estate agents who watch these videos and they get really mad at me because they think that I'm saying that like someone has to have been in the business for a long time. I actually don't think that. I think that it comes down to knowledge, grit, right? The ability to really go get you that property, and some level of experience and having a good personality. So I have a couple newer agents right now where I will send, I'll be like, if a client's looking for someone, I will recommend these people because I think they're so good with the client experience, what they provide. And that's the thing. You guys are the clients and you want a good client experience.
Yeah, you want someone who's going to partner with you and help you get to the finish line.
Yeah. And who's not gonna, sell you a money pit just to get a paycheck.
Or put your deal in jeopardy once, you run into road bumps with inspections or appraisal or whatever. What's so funny about the road bump?
No, because you had an agent once and I think you went on vacation. Yeah,
Dare to dream.
yeah, you guys might want to tune off at this, but this one's actually really good. So Julie was on vacation, and so when she was on vacation, I stepped in, and this deal was just, the buyer was like calling me in tears, and they're like, I don't know what to do, the seller won't. And so I called the buyer's agent. I'm like, what the heck is going on? She's like, we want the patio furniture and they won't give it to us. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? She's like, we want the patio furniture, they won't give it to us. I called the buyer. I'm like, look, just give up on the patio furniture. Like, that's not something you get with a house. She goes, I don't want the patio furniture. The buyer's agent wanted the patio furniture.
Oh my God.
Do you know who I'm talking about?
Yes.
So anyway.
Thank God I was on vacation.
You would have killed her. I mean, we were like, yeah. So I mean, that got handled. It closed. There was no patio furniture given to real estate agents in it. But like crazy stuff like that can happen. So really, guys, do your due diligence. Make sure the lender you're working with, double checks everything out for you. Licensed in 46 states. You know what that sound is? That sound is the fingerprint cards coming for the last 2 states. So thanks for watching, guys, and tune in for how to close a house.